On the People's Show, this is a J. York production.
You got it locked with D-Horn on the weekend, baby. Ready? Initiate a J. York production. J. York production. J. York production.
You are in the mix with D Hall and the People's Show. This is a J. York production.
Facebook family.
Oh, day.
Hey, I'm Ashley Braswell, a local comedian from Charlotte.
The announcer Walter Waite.
Hello to everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Well, I guess it would be good evening. So late in the evening. Good evening to everybody. Hello to everybody. First of all, I want to say to you, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am your host, D Hall of the People's Show. And I always want to say thank my Heavenly Father for letting me be able to come on to this show and bring you another spectacular guest. All my guests are spectacular, no matter where they are from. We are glad to have them here, and we have one tonight from North Carolina, which is where I reside in. And I'm glad to, always glad to do my North Carolina people because they represent the NC. And we're going to talk with this young man. And we're going to, learn a lot in the next 30 minutes or more with him. I'm glad to see. I want to say hello to Cameron Harvey, Ray Harvey. I'm glad to see him. Thank him. He is the manager of this young man. And I'm glad to be able to have him on of Psalms 82.6 Management Corporation. I'm glad to see him. And I'm glad to see everybody that's in here. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I want y'all to join us, bring your questions, and we will pop them up on the screen as quickly as we can. Let's go ahead and bring this young man in. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Hello, sir. How you doing this evening?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you here on the show tonight. You're live with me and J. York Productions. We are glad to see you and glad to have you part of what we have here for the next 30 minutes or more with you. But as I do, as with all my guests, I want you to tell them who you are and where you're from.
Foremost, I would like to thank you for having me on your show. And, my name is Tayshawn, virus about Autyry. I go by King Mars of God. I'm from the 910 area of North Carolina, which is Clinton, North Carolina. I spent the majority of my career, my earlier parts of my career in North Carolina. And
Okay.
the late parts of my career I spent in Brooklyn, New York as leasing box engine. So that's like a little brief journey that I did,
Okay.
My debut was in 2011.
Gotcha. You may want to turn your mic up just a little bit. We could hear you, but you might want to turn it up just a little bit. If you don't mind, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I
Yes,
feel a
sir.
little low, too.
You
Sorry
got to
about
get.
that. I'm
Yeah.
like a soft-spoken person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you get up here, you got these people popping in here. They're gonna want to hear what you got to say for
Definitely,
sure.
definitely.
Francesca Alcantara. I want to say hello to her. She is a former female fighter and
Oh
challenger
yeah.
for the world championship. She's out of what is it? Kansas? Is it Kansas? Francesca. But I wanted to say hello to her because I also want to bring her back. She's one of my former guests that's been on here, female fighter, and that lady works out all the time. Crystal Wheelwright out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to say hello to her. She's been rocking. She's been rocking with me for the longest. And I'm gonna tell you something. That Cincinnati crew. Thank y'all so much, man, for stopping in and joining us tonight. I'm just shouting out the people that's coming in because I love the people and I love to recognize my people when they come in here because we're like family. Shikara, what's happening, baby? What's happening with you? She is a artist, female artist, a rap artist at that, and one talented young lady. And I want to say hello to her also, rocking with us. But let's get back to you. Um, Tayshawn, you are a native of did you say Clinton or is it Roseboro?
Well, Clinton and Roseboro. I was raised
Okay,
in Roseboro, but I was
okay,
born in Clinton.
okay. That's fine. That's fine. Small town. Both of them small towns. I know exactly where they are,
Yes, sir.
and I know what where how that that history of a small town. You played football, and you played and you was a standout player. A lot of people don't know that. So we're going to talk about that just for a few minutes. Uh, you, tell us about that a little bit, if you don't mind, please.
Well, I started playing ball at the age of like 10. Used to play for the Crusaders from out of Clinton, North Carolina. It was a local organization at high risk youth individual children.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was always in the newspaper. I had scouters looking at me since I was in sixth grade. So
Okay.
my college people looking at me in the sixth grade, and
Okay.
I end up getting a kid at 15, having a kid at 15, and I had to let it all go. I wanted
Yeah.
to see my daughter's mother go to through high school and graduate, so I gave up my football career, a scholarship, a full-fledged scholarship to Methodist University. It's a lifetime scholarship. I can use it at any time, but
Right.
it
Right.
was definitely something that I was looking forward to, and
Yeah.
also um, events leading up to that. Uh, my daughter's mother actually graduated from high school, and she's currently deceased this year.
Okay. 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 Hey, sometimes things happen. When you get kids and stuff to that nature, you have to go off into a different direction, shall I say? And long as it's that productive direction, you can always come back to what you wanted to do, but you have to first take care of those. The little ones, and when that was my question. My next and up and coming talk to you about was he was a father at an early age, and what helped you? What was that helped you in that situation as a young man to to be focused on what you was doing because you had a kid? What helped you stay that way?
Well, it was mainly a friend of mine. His name is Charles Allen Parker. He's actually kin to Willie Parker, the football player. He was always there for me. He always kind of steered me in the right direction. And, so once I turned 16, I dropped out of school and went and got a job at a local cucumber plant to
Right. Was it
do
Mount
what
Olive?
I had to do.
Was it Mount Olive?
Yeah, yeah. I had to break it in. I had to provide for my daughter. Um, but then that's when I found boxing.
Right, right.
So
That's when you
boxing was
found
my
boxing. Okay, we're gonna get
salvation.
into that. We're gonna. I ain't mean to cut you off, but we get ready to get into that. But before we do, uh, you know, you had a mentor, and I think you just spoke on his name,
Yes, sir.
uh, Charles Parker. How did you meet him? And that's the first part of the question. How did you meet your mentor? How did you meet him?
Well, my mentor was there for me, like when I was in the street, uh,
Okay.
he was there from like he changed my pampers, my brother. Just say
Right.
that
Okay.
he
Okay.
changed my pampers. He's like 35, going on 36. So
Okay.
he knew me since I was I was a baby, and he's like a big brother. You
Right.
know, um,
Right.
he made sure to this day he makes sure that I'm always got my head on straight. I'm always on the swivel. He actually directed me to stay focused. Because out here it's so easy to get into trouble, get locked up.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
common for us melanated men to go down that journey.
Right. It is. It really is. It really is it's a tedious journey out here on this road. And I just want to say, let everybody know that and let you know also that we are broadcasting also into YouTube as we speak. So it's going into YouTube and Facebook, and we're carrying it on and on. But yeah, it is a tedious journey, and we have to be careful on how we ride that road. And he helped you. He helped you in a way that you fell into boxing. Yeah, he helped you, and you fell into boxing. How did that start? How did he get you into boxing?
Well, I was a little knucklehead, around the neighborhood. I was running around, and it's before boxing, just
Right.
beating up people. You know, because of some problems I've had as a kid. I always had this chip on my shoulder. You looked at me wrong, I'll jump on you back then. I guess everybody had that period, but he started noticing my technique, and he was like, well, football is no longer there for you. And at the time, I was trying to be a rapper too, and
Right.
it's like, the rapping, it's all right, but I think this is for you.
Yeah,
Instead of beating up people in the street and end up getting locked up, why don't you do something productive with your hands? And
that's
we
good.
started transitioning, training, and I met my first manager. Not going to go too much in deep depth
Yeah, that's
with
fine.
that
Yeah,
situation, but it was
yeah, yeah.
belief issues. But
Okay.
that situation turned out not the way it should, and I went
Yeah.
into it.
Okay.
He
Th-
was just there for me. He
right.
directed me in the right places. And there was also another guy that helped me along the way. His name is Kevin Thompson. He's also a fighter from out of Clinton, North Carolina, too, heavyweight.
Okay.
Not that
Okay.
many
Okay.
people know about him, but he started training me as well.
Great. Great. You know what? I love my North Carolina fighters. And I want to shout out Michael Williams Jr. He was on top ranked. He fought on ESPN Plus, and he lost, but you know what? He represented us, and I got a lot of love for that young man, and I've been rocking with him for 3 years, and he still got a bright future. Michael Williams Jr., y'all. Um,
That's for sure. I heard about him.
yeah,
He's doing his
yeah, it was,
business.
it
He's a
was,
talented guy too.
yeah, he's a brilliant person. I love him. I love those guys over there. Um, you know what, you didn't have the resources, but you stayed right with it, man. You stayed with the boxing game. You didn't have the resources that other fighters had. You know what I'm saying? But for your amateur career, what kept you focusing on your journey, man? What kept you straight and on that narrow path? You know what I'm saying?
Well, 2014, I was 5 years in retirement at this point. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I tried to I stayed focused for one reason, the love of boxing.
Hmm.
Despite me not having this marvelous amateur career, I ended up meeting this female by the name of Keisha McLeod. They call her Fire the Boxing Diva, which she's a current world champion. She was ranked number one in the world for like, I don't know, a couple of years. She's New York State champion and she's an international champion. And I met her and I started getting around more world champions, like Sean Porter,
Hmm.
uh, Tank Davis, Deontay Wilder, Mark Breland, just a whole bunch of names. Mark Breland, he actually sometimes he'll give me a shout out on my fight. Joan Guzman, which is a famous Dominican fighter from Dominican Republic. Barkley. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. I ran
Yeah.
Barkley,
Yeah.
Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford.
Yeah.
So pretty much all you the big fighters, I was just like looking at them and meeting them, and Victor Ortiz, Cesar Chavez. I was just looking at all these big fighters, and it was just like one day I was just at a Chocolito fight, and I was sitting next to my girlfriend, and she's a fighter too. We were just sitting there, we was watching Chocolito. He was like at 119, super bantamweight, pound for pound, and I was just sitting there, and I was like watching him fight, and I was like, yo, I'm getting ready to come out retired. I'm
Right.
in my
Let
career
me
right.
step into this zone right quick because sometimes I forget I have a lot of things going on. I have total things that's rocking with me in my mind. But let me say this before we go any further. And Mr. J just reminded me, and I'm sorry about that because sometimes I can't remember everything. This is for the show right now. Give me about 20 seconds. This video is the works of artists displaying. We're talking about boxing. This is an online talk show that educates adult audience. The parental advisory is advised. Some things may be censored and are edited for children. So it was just a little. I can't remember everything. You know what I'm saying? My mind is I'm dealing with a lot of people, so I had to push that in there. But anyway, let me get back to you. Um, yeah, you retired in 2013, and then you came back in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But you was back in Brooklyn. You was in Brooklyn, New York, and that's where you was, and you went to Gleason's gym, and you started working out there, and you did your thing. And then you came back in 2019. Came back to North Carolina. What made you come back to North Carolina?
Well, it was that period where I was looking at Chocolito, and I was like, I'm coming out of retirement, and I just started making 1,000 calls, and got one guy that picked up the phone and said, I'll sign you as a fighter, and that was Cameron.
Okay.
Cameron Harvey, Sons ABC Management Company. And I was already around world champions, and I just felt like I already had that pedigree.
Okay.
Despite my early on in my career, I had the resources. I had people around me that been in the game for 30, 40 years, and
Right.
it's like I'm about to jump out there and go home. My first fight back in North Carolina just felt good.
Good.
Um,
Good. I want to say hello to Derek Rayner. He's out of I think there's out of Greenville, North Carolina. I want to say hello to him. He's got a question for you. He said, "How do you guys take hits and keep pushing forward? I guess keep pushing."
Well, we prep for that during training, during sparring sessions. The ideal thing is nobody want to get hit in the face,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a gladiator sport. That's why we train to move our head and stay on the swivel.
Right. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Good answer. Good answer. Let's talk about your management company, and that's Mr. Cameron Harvey. And I want to shout him out and thank him for joining us right now at this particular time. You got a good management team. Uh, they put you in some great positions. I think they got you in a great position because you got a fight coming up. Correct? Is that correct? You
Yes,
got a
sir.
fight coming up against a guy is it undefeated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got a guy that's undefeated. Undefeated. Excuse me. Tell me, about your management team. How did they get you in such a good position to get a guy like that?
Well, I know we was we had this offer that was offered to us in the beginning of the year. Well, middle of the year. I would say
Right.
like July, something like that, end of June. And we wasn't particularly. We had other offers on the table. You know what I mean? So it's like when you take the offer, this wasn't like the first time that we had like this kind of offer offered to us.
Right.
We just felt like certain times, certain it's a certain time to take fights and a certain time not to take fights. And at that period, I was dealing with personal issues. But my management company, the management company that I deal with, he's very smart. He comes from an HBCU college, and he grinds.
Right.
Um, we dissected this opponent for a while. The way he does business, it's like more of like, I don't know, man. He just he's like pulling rabbits out of a hat. My last year, my fight was on CBS Sports, and that
Oh
was
yeah.
incredible. Yeah. So my
Great.
my management company, man, is he's amazing. He pulled rabbits out of hats. You couldn't get.
Good. Good. I want to say hello to Wanda Colbert. She is watching. I gotta shout my people out that's here, that's watching, that's coming in with me. And I want to say hello to those people. I'm looking at two machines, so that's why I'm doing like this and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, uh, hello to everybody that's here right now, and the ones that I can't see, I'm talking to y'all. Hello, you too.
Yeah, hello to all
Um,
of you guys.
yes, exactly. What is your main goal, man? You got a goal in boxing? What is your main goal? And I got another question for you. But what is your main goal?
Well, it's to win, beat this guy, and hopefully, we get this title and we're able to move forward.
Right.
We're fighting
Right.
for the USBF. My goal is pretty much to get titles in different weight classes. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
Not only that, put North Carolina on the map because I'm a round world champion,
Much better.
and that is my goal
Okay.
to become a world champion in different weight classes.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. No problem. No problem. Because you fight at several different weight classes.
Yep.
Yeah, you fight. You're in several different sections there. Um, so who are some of your Who are some of your idols? Who do you have as like who you like look up to? I know you got a bunch of them, but I'm just saying maybe two or three of them.
Well, the main fighter I always did like, like he's he he he's slick. Pernell Whitaker.
Oh
Pernell Whitaker
yeah,
is so
yeah,
slick.
yeah.
And then Pernell Whitaker's the first, and then Hagler.
Hagler, yeah,
Hagler, he's just the perfect fighter.
yeah. He is. I mean, you said the two that I really admire. I really admire both of them. I really admire Sweet Pea because he was. I was devastated by what happened to him last year.
Me
But
too.
he was something else, man. I mean, an unbelievable guy, and the way he boxed, and Hagler too. Hagler was he never stopped. He was like a freight train. He kept coming all the
Yeah.
time, no matter who he fought. Um,
Oh yeah, and James Tony as well.
James Tony, and you know what? I'm surprised James Tony brother isn't up here because his brother used to come up here all the time in my show. DMC Can out of Saginaw, Michigan. He used to be up here all the time. He's coming on this year. I mean, when 2022 and 2222, he'll be on here with us. The brother of James Tony. But anyway, what would you say to the up and coming young fighters that's coming up to help them? What would you say to them? What would you say them to help them?
Well, I would say there's an old saying, the people that you are around are the people who you're going to become, or people who are going to say that you are. The better terms is birds of a feather flock together. So I would say, like, we all have struggles in life,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, but if you can find salvation in the gym, you know what I mean, which a lot of us do as fighters, you're going to have speed bumps in the road. Just set goals,
Gotcha.
set goals, and
Set
just
goals. Yeah,
constantly
great.
try to accomplish them. You know what I mean?
Good, good, good. We're glad to have you on tonight. We had one of your other, stablemates on earlier this year. And I can't remember what his name was right now at a particular time, but he did come out of that stablemate where you're at, stable you're at. Moving right along because we're going to wind it on down here. But I usually have a game that we play. It's a word game, and it's a pretty good game, and we play that game before we get off the show. What it is two words, and you pick the word that you like Okay. Whatever, it could be two. It's two words, and you pick your choice. That's all you do. It's simple. It's nothing hard. Mr. York, J York, the one that did your promo and all that stuff. He come up with that, and
Jay
because we
York,
were,
right?
yeah, J York.
Jay York. His last name remind me of a famous guy I know by the name of Doctor York. Doctor York. Yeah, Dr. York.
Okay. Um, and I want to say I appreciate Cameron. I worked with him before. Cameron Harvey, uh, your management company. Is he came to me and then brought me to you. So I said, yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
And I
I
appreciate you
thank him
guys
for that.
having us on here, and I
Oh
appreciate
yeah, oh
Jay
yeah,
York for all the promotion. And our team are very humble. And we're happy to have you guys, and hopefully we can continue to do business in the future.
sure. Well, we look forward to that for sure. And I want to thank everybody that's here. We go. Let me see what Mr. Cameron said. He said something right here. Let's put it up here. Elijah Anderson, correct. Elijah Anderson, talented. He was a very well spoken young man, and I like Elijah Anderson. Thank you, Mr. Harvey. But here we go. I'm gonna give you two words. You take your pick. Here we go. Chicken or turkey?
Hmm. Chicken or turkey? I go with turkey.
Okay. Walmart or Food Line?
Hmm.
Kind of hard, isn't
Walmart.
it? Okay. Here we go. Benz or BMW?
Well, I have one, so I have to say. So you said Benz or BMW,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with Benz.
Okay. Here we go. Collard greens or cabbage?
Collard greens.
Okay. Now the other part of this is going to be your meaning. I'm gonna give you two things, just two words, and you give me your meaning to you. Okay. Um, Cameron Harvey.
Cameron Harvey has been really crucial to my life and my career.
Okay.
And this fight is going to be uh, the cornerstone of what he created.
Gotcha. And let's talk about that fight. Since you mentioned that where are you fighting at?
Rock
And
Hill, South Carolina.
okay. Is that on? Because I was trying to find out, is what is that promotions? What promotions is on?
Southpaw Promotions.
That's what I was trying to figure out. It was at Southpaw because I know them guys know me very well at Southpaw. Billy Blee, Walter Wade, the ring announcer, all those guys. I thought that's where it was. I thought it was Southpaw. And you're fighting what time?
They didn't give us the time yet, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we should be there around like 5
Okay.
on the
Uh,
8th.
gr- okay, cool. Because I deal with those guys a lot. Especially with Walter Wade being there. And I felt that's where you was fighting them. I wasn't for sure. Okay, so that's when. When is that? That's next
The
weekend.
18th.
The
Yeah, this is
18th. Okay.
Saturday.
Cool. So y'all got that. Y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear that. Young man here is fighting next weekend, the 18th, somewhere around about number over 5, between whatever time, 7, whatever.
Well, I know I'm gonna be the what you call it, co-main event.
Okay, you the co-man. Okay, good. Yeah, great. What is your? I mean, you're training, you're working hard. Of course, you don't want to give away any secrets, but um, i- what is your main thing to do when you go into the ring? Are you trying to get him out of there, or just try to work and punish him? What is your main goal right now?
Well, normally when I go in there with the mindset to fight, go the distance, and stay focused and have
Okay,
fun.
okay, because the knockout will come.
Yeah,
If
that's for
that's what happens, yeah,
yeah,
the knockout will come.
true.
Um, you have this opponent. He's what is he? What is he? Is he like 6-0 or something?
I think 5-0.
Okay, 5-0. Okay. Do you know a lot about him? Do you know anything about him?
Well, I know he's quick.
Okay.
Um, he's quick.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't really know if he has much power. I mean, from what I see, he has power. I'm not going to speak too much on the level of the opponent that he fought.
Right. 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 Right.
He
Right.
seems like the ideal fighter.
Yeah.
I see him all the time in the gym.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This it's just because sometimes might want every fighter is different. Even when even if you study the fighter and you get into the ring, he's different. You know what I'm saying? So they do change on you. I was just trying to get a view if you
Yeah, he does
studied.
do slugging and boxing.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, but it's not like we're going against a Pacquiao. You know,
Right. Gotcha.
but
Gotcha.
he is
Gotcha.
a very sharp fighter. Can't undermine him. Got to stay focused like I've been. But yeah, he's very fast, sharp. He tries to jump in. He jumps
Okay.
in a lot with his punches. Um, yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much him to sum it all up.
How's your training camp? How's your training camp been?
Well, training's been pretty good. Um,
Okay.
the weights come off easy, not hard. Not what they say. Drained for this fight whatsoever.
Okay. So what are you fighting at?
I'm fighting at 124.
Okay, you're fighting 124 pounds. Okay. 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 Cool. All right. Great. Just want to get that in there and find out where you're fighting at and how your training is. You say training's pretty good. That's great. That's great. Here we go. We got one more. Um, and this is your meaning. This is your meaning for this question. The D Hall People Show and J York Productions.
Well, I would say this: they gave me the opportunity, and I respect them, and I love the way they did the promotion. And I just put it like this: there ain't really many people like you out there, and like Jay out there in North Carolina promoting us fighters, and
Yeah.
I commend you guys for that.
Well, thank you. We love to get North Carolina fighters on, whether from Charlotte or whether they're from Greenville or wherever they may be. We love to have them on because that's family here for us. We're glad to have you on, and glad for Cameron to give me a chance to get you on so the people can see, because we're broadcasting, like I said, we're broadcasting on YouTube and all over Facebook um, and into groups also. We're pumping this thing into these boxing groups also, so it's all over in UK and wherever else is going. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to help as much as we can, and me and Jay, we just want everybody to understand that. But foremost and to understand that as long as we don't ask for much, we just want the people to follow the directions, and that's what we try to get people to do most of the time. Uh, any questions that you may have for me?
One thing is, I don't have too much questions. I'm like a short kind of word guy, but I would definitely would like to say thank you, brother, because when I was coming up in 2011, man, wasn't that many brothers out there like you promoting us in North Carolina. You know what I mean? It's just it's just it feels good to know that
Yeah,
North Carolina boxing is is not dead. You know what I mean? And
there you go. There you
you know,
go. There you go.
I've heard a lot about Michael Williams Jr. Um, and
Yeah, yeah.
and a lot of other fighters out there too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's one in Charlotte, at Vegas Grand Boxing. Oh my God, I can't even think of his name now, but he's big too over there in Charlotte area. And
Is it Quentin Rankin?
no, 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 no. It's oh my God, Early. Last name is Early.
I know who you're talking
The,
about.
vo-
That's um
yeah.
yeah,
God, man.
early. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't
I
forget.
got.
I forget his first name too,
Yeah,
but
you
I
know what
think
I'm
I
talking
know
about.
who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a he. I've seen a couple of fights of his. He's a
Yeah,
really good
I
fighter.
Yeah, that's my guy. And I love those. They treat me like Vegas Grand. I appreciate them. I thank them so much
Yeah,
for what they
Vegas
have
Grand,
done for
that's
me.
the name.
Yeah,
And
they
also,
really.
there's another heavyweight out there too. I don't think he's active anymore. His name is Jaquan Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think he's like a cruiserweight,
Mm-hmm.
heavyweight. Pretty good fighter too.
Pretty good fight. Okay. Well, I love all my fighters. Even Kelvin King, a young guy out of Wilson, North Carolina. I had him on my show. Tremendous. He's undefeated and a tremendous guy. And I love all the North Carolina fighters. I love to get him on if I can get him on. There he goes right there. I knew he was coming in here. And there he is. DMC Can, out of Michigan. There, he's a brother of James Tony. DMC
Okay.
Cannon. 2022, brother. You said you want to come on. This is the best show in the world you can get on right now. That's live. uh, Good to see him always. He's a big. He been supporting my program for a long time. There's my other guest that was on. I'm shouting people out now, vibing with J Baby, awesome guy, tremendous. We had a great reception with him and his people coming over. We had a good show. Thank you, J Baby, so much for being a part of what we did the other week. And man, I got to check the numbers on you, brother, because I bet you really broke the record. But yeah, man, it's always good to see DMC Can, and he's been rocking with me for a long time, man. And I'm looking for you in 2022 to come on the show, bring it all you got, because you know you're welcome, brother. But anyway, get back to you, Tayshawn. Any last words that you want to say before we get out of here?
I would like to say thank you and Jay for allowing me to get on the show. And I want you guys to know that I'm very grateful, and hopefully I'm looking forward to coming back on here to speak to you and
Yes,
your
sir.
audience. And I would like to thank the audience for the question. And you guys
You're
be
welcome.
blessed.
You're welcome, man. From me and Jay, your production, we appreciate you and Cameron, Mr. Harvey. We thank him because he's trying to get his guys out there, and this is a platform that's for any fighter. And it ain't got to be a fight; it could be anybody because that's what we do here at the People Show, and that's what it's all about. We're gonna never change that name. It's all about the people. It's all about somebody coming on this show. You could be working, flipping burgers. We want you on here because everybody's got something to say. It ain't all about the big guys making all the bucks. We like to have them on too, but we like people like me and you. You know what I'm saying? People like me and you, because y'all have a voice and everything, and we want to be that voice for y'all to come here and talk about it. Talk about it. We love having you guys on. Uh, Cameron says, "Shoot, let the manager get an interview anytime, brother. Anytime, brother. Because we interview managers too. I interview Lavonda Stacy. I interview Gardner Payne. We Christy Martin. We interview the managers too. So anytime, Cameron, you set it up. You call me. We'll set you up, brother. Get you in here. But it's going to be in 2022 now.
Also, before we
Go
go, I
ahead.
wanted to say something too. There's an organization out of Roseboro, North Carolina, who's striving to do things out there. Her name is Tamara Frederick. She's out there helping the community, teaching people about their what you call their history. Like if anybody want to know anything about their family history, she goes in
Okay.
the family tree and connect dots and
Okay.
help people find lost long relatives.
Good.
It
I'm
can be
glad you
found
put
on
that out there.
Facebook as well.
Um, and let's not forget it's Christmas. Let's not forget the people that needs help. As me and Jay, we push that out there, y'all. Let's not forget those people. Any time of the year, let's not forget them. The homeless people.
Yes.
Let's not forget those people, man. Because they need food and just like anybody else. I don't know what their reasons are or anything. It's not my concern. It's just trying to help. That's all. Denise Gurley says, "Good talk, good work." I thank you, Denise Gurley, for coming in here and being a part of what we do here at the All People Show. Look here, man. We're gonna get out of here. I thank you so much. I thank you and Cameron and Mr. Harvey. for coming on my show and letting you come on my show. I thank you. I hope I may get there. You never know about me, brother. I was just there about a month ago with the fights, and it's a possibility I may come again just to see you guys there. Yeah, for
That
sure.
would be wonderful. And I would like to thank the D Hall People Show and J York Productions for having me on their show. And I would like to thank all the people that are part of his audience too. And I thank y'all guys for giving me this opportunity. And
Thank you, man. Anytime, brother. We're glad to accommodate you in any way that we can. All right, we're getting ready to get out of here. Thank you, Psalms Management Company, Cameron Harvey. Thank you, Tayshawn, for being a part of what we do. Look, brother, you have a good night.
You too. Happy holidays.
All right, brother. I want to thank y'all for joining me, for being here with me tonight. We'll be back Sunday. We're coming back Sunday with Katrina Woods, female artist out of Texas. We're talking with her and, getting the insight on what's happening down in Texas and all that good stuff. I thank y'all for joining us, man. And I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank y'all. Truly, I do. It's been wonderful. For me and J York Productions, we thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You are in the mix with D Hall and the People's Show. This is a J York production.
You got it locked with D Hall on the weekend, baby. Ready? And initiate a J York production. J York production. J York production.
You are in the mix with D Hall and the People's Show. This is a J York production.
Facebook family.
Another day.
Hey, I'm Ashley Braswell, a local comedian from Charlotte.
The announcer Walter Waite.